Number 6.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are number 6. And here's why. You would say, how could they be in the top 6? They've lost 2 games in a row, and they just lost last week. I'm not worried about them. You cannot tell me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the lack of having Gronkowski, AB, a banged-up Godwin, a banged-up Fournette, missing part of the secondary, that this is not still one of the top teams in the National Football League when those guys at the end of the season come back to the party and get ready for the playoffs.
And how much of the last 2 weeks, a little bit of maybe just complacency that let me just get to January, please.
Yeah, but,
it's
a tough out playing against the Washington football team.
Keep it moving.
Number 5.
The Buffalo Bills. Bill fans, no one circles the wagons quite like the Buffalo Bills. They are in the top 5 again. This team is slowly but surely, I'm starting to believe in them. Even though they dropped one to the Jacksonville Jaguars, they came into MetLife Stadium last week and opened up a can of you-know-what on the New York Jets. It's not like anybody couldn't do it, but they did it. They showed me. They proved that they can go out there and bounce back from a devastating loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 4. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are sitting at 4 at 8-2. I don't believe in that 8-2. But I got to put them in there because it may come out in the end as real. They may be a team that you look up and say, this team is for real. And Derrick Henry is coming back to the party. Adrian Peterson is giving him enough. He's not giving them the Henry stuff, but giving them enough in terms of we still have a stud running back that at any moment can break it long for you.
Number 3.
The number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. And a lot of people say, man, what the hell wrong with you? You put them in front of the Tennessee Titans. You damn right I did. Because this team has won 4 straight games, and they look different. I know it's the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders went through some stuff. They're losing it, blah, 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 blah. It's not about that. It's about the way that they look. Patrick Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns. This is the 3rd time in his career that he's thrown for 4 or more touchdowns against the Raiders. Now, quarterbacks don't just do that. And quarterbacks like this just don't grow on damn trees. So I got them at number 3, and they're only going to get better.
Number 2.
Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. This is the number 2 team in the National Football League. And I say this only because the team in front of them, as far as for my money, does some things just a little bit better. Dallas Cowboys. I know. Number 1, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys got a quarterback. Mm-hmm. They got a plethora of wide receivers. Mm-hmm. They got 2 backs that can run the ball. They got an offensive line that can push the pocket as well, push the defensive line as well as get on their heels and pass protect. They got a defense that's coming to the party.
Injuries, though.
They got a defense that's coming to the party.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, Dan Quinn certainly has upticked the defense from a year ago. They are playing lights-out football. Bounce back after a miserable, devastating, embarrassing loss to the Denver Broncos. But this is how championship teams are built. You lose to a Bronco team, and then you go and unleash on the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan that were playing good football, 500 football. So that's pretty good. Pretty good.
And they're your number 1 team. You know, Pat Costello, one of our producers,
go ahead, Pat, please.
has a problem with this list.
What a horrible list.
No, the list is fine, but how did you leave the Cardinals off without any explanation? You just said you don't believe in the Titans at 8-2, but you put them 4th anyway.
Yeah,
why would you leave the Cardinals off the list and not give us any explanation why? It's completely ridiculous.
Well, because I'm punishing the Arizona Cardinals.
They were number 1.
I've had them at number 1 several times, and every time I put them at 1 or 2, guess what happens? They lose. Okay?
But they lost without Kyler Murray and D-Hop, 2 guys that didn't even play.
They lose. And they took care of business against the San Francisco 49ers with Colt McCoy. The 49ers opened up a can on the Los Angeles Rams. Even though Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green are not in the lineup on a consistent basis now, J.J. Watt isn't there. I cannot envision them in today's market being a top 7 team in today's market. Tomorrow's market is different. Today's market, I don't see that.
But last week, you had the number 1.
That was last week's market.
But they didn't have Kyler Murray or D-Hop or A.J. Green.
But they lost to P.J. Walker.
I'm going to just – they got run out of the building against the Carolina Panthers.
Superman showed up.
People can get angry.
Carolina Panthers ran them out of their own building. Okay, with a quarterback that was at home eating fried chicken and smoking cigars.
I think he
the
said
hell out of
bowl
here.
Of cereal.
It just sounds like there's
No,
a lot
I know
of hate.
he was eating cereal, but he was also eating chicken.
It sounds like there's a lot of hate for the Red Sea. And also, Pat, the other one, I can't, because I think every time we talk about this, Titan fans go crazy. When Key talks about how the Kansas City Chiefs looked, let's talk about how they looked. With the exception of their last game, in which Patrick Mahomes played his ass off, I hear that. But a 2017 win over the Giants, a 13-7 win over the Packers without Aaron Rodgers when Jordan Love was there. That just, for a Titans team, I know without Derrick Henry, has won 6 in a row against the Chiefs, the Bills. They beat dominant teams. I just don't see how we don't put respect on their name. People start killing us for it out there.
I trust the
Kansas City
Chiefs. I don't trust the Titans.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Period.
They're the best team in the AFC.
Period.
So because of the way they played in their last game, that's the one game that makes you think they're the best team in the AFC.
No, it's not the last game. It's the 4 games that they won. I don't even look at the score. I look at how they won the games. I look at the perseverance. I look at all the obstacles that they have to overcome, and then they unleash on the Raiders. They are the best team in the AFC. That's why it's called Keyshawn's Real Rankings and not Jay's and Allen's.
But people can still challenge your real rankings, Key, just because
you
you have it.
You can do all the challenging and you want.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.